All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's see. We got quite a few people here already tonight. Anthony, hey man, glad you can make it. Tara, good to see you. Been a while. Hope you're doing well. Purified, good to see you again. Jade, glad you can make it. Uh, Katie Dragoncan, hello. And Ms. Weeks, welcome. You got your tea. Nice, nice, nice. So, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone stayed as safe as they could. Um, I know sometimes we get out there, we're having fun, we don't necessarily think things through. I know I'm guilty of it. So, oh, Tara, don't do that. You're perfectly worthy. You're all right. So, so just get a few of the things out of the way that we have to. As always, be sure you do like the video, and if you haven't and you're enjoying the content, do subscribe. We do the live streams twice a week. We release a new video every Tuesday. Also, if you have a question, it's just me on here trying to get through this chat. I don't have any of the add-ons or anything that picks things out for people. So questions do get missed on occasion when we get busy. So if it's a very important question, use the super chat, make a small donation. It'll flash it up really big on screen, and it'll make sure I see it. Also, you can use the super chat just to throw a little money our way if you actually want to donate and help support the work we do in order to get information out to all the seekers, um, which many of you do. We also have channel memberships, and for all of the channel members, thank you very much. I know many of you have been enjoying the new emojis, I think they're called, that we've recently put up, all of which were designed by channel members. So thank you for that. We appreciate that. It's always great to see your all's artwork and support, and it's always good to be able to put it front and center whenever we can. So beyond that, my weekend was pretty busy. Stayed busy, got some stuff done around the house. Spent some time with the wife, but overall, mostly a relaxing weekend, I'd have to say. Um, though coming into this next week, I do have a truckload of work I got to get done. As I mentioned Friday during the live stream, I'll be moving into the next sphere of a Cliffothic path working that I've been doing. Really looking forward to that. No idea what to expect on it, actually. I'm a little bit behind. I usually try to read the structure of the next section of the path working before the week I started. I was not able to do that. Um, so I'm just going to be walking into this one a little less unprepared. Not a big deal though. But I am still looking forward to that. Um, let's see. Also, I've got to do a few filmings for the second channel. Me and my daughter started, me and Halloween, because uh, we started just uploading some content that we thought might be helpful to get that started, but then people started actually requesting things, so we're going to have to change gears a little on that, but that's okay. Should be a lot of fun. KRY, hello. Good to see you. Also, another announcement. Facebook has been being a butthead again to us and the site. So if you have a pending request, we'll try to get to it. But we are, with all the problem Facebook has been giving us, we are looking at considering closing down the Working Dragon Mystic Facebook, because it's just not letting us interface with people. It just keeps shutting down. So it tells us we're posting, but it never posts. And that's a bit of a problem. So we are looking for options on how to handle that. But right now we just everything we're looking into is just kind of falling a little short. And then there's the question, do we actually need the Facebook? Because we do have the Discord that seems to work pretty well, though a lot of people don't like the Discord app for different various reasons. I understand that. So there is that we are kind of looking into and thinking about. Just to be aware for those who do follow us in the Facebook group. So if you are thinking of following us, consider the Discord group, because right now Discord is the one that seems to be functioning reliably and hasn't given us any issues, which you can find the Discord link in the About section of the channel if you need that. Let's see, is that about it? I think that's about the general announcements that we have here. It has been a quiet weekend, so can't say it caused too much trouble to get into and talk about. I will say someone asked me a question a couple days ago, and I gave them an answer because they were asking when I was going to present the High Ruler videos. And I told them that this has been asked multiple times and that the High Rulers don't want me presenting those videos because of the people that can start working with those higher draconic rulers early and cause themselves a lot of trouble. The ironic part in this conversation, however, is that they were arguing that no, that wouldn't happen at all. And they're saying that they work with, insert the name of the High Ruler here, and that it's been great. But they're wanting me to detail a path working and more information and go deeper into it and do the video because, and then they went on to list all these things that have gone wrong that directly relates to not knowing how to handle the energy of the element in which they had stuck their head into. And then when I pointed this out and told them that there was a reason the rulers didn't want me to share it and that I was going to respect that request at this time, they got all upset with me. And then they started to quote the many paths up the mountain quote that I've used in my videos a time or two. And I told them, I was like, I know there's many, many, many paths. I'm not saying there's one path. I'm not saying my way is the only way. I'm just telling you what the rulers told me. I'm honoring my promise to the rulers because they're allowing me to share the information that I am sharing in such a wonderful way. And you are literally describing the exact thing they warned of. So what do you want from me? But what stuck with me most about this particular conversation wasn't the mistake. We all make mistakes. Was that just because they didn't like the answer I gave, suddenly they decided it's my way or the highway. I think I've been pretty vocal that there's no one single path on this channel. I like to think I have, because I certainly don't believe there is one single path. Like I say every time, if what you're doing is working and manifesting the results that you want in your life and you're happy with that practice and it's fulfilling to you, keep doing it. Screw what anyone else says. But if you ask for help, they advise you, and then you turn your nose up at it and basically try to shoot your mouth off at them just because you don't like the answer, you might want to get a mirror to find the problem. Know what I mean? See what we got here. Got some comments coming in. Community, hello, good to see you. Anthony, so did dragons originate in the physical realm? I haven't got my astral hearing or sight well enough for my dragons to give me the full rundown. No, dragons did not manifest within the physical realm. Dragons predate the physical realm by a very, very, very long time. But keep working on those astral senses, Anthony. You'll get them. You'll get them. Anthony Dieros. I think you're one of the individuals who's in the arcane psych class on the school. There's a lot of students, so I get the names mixed up, but you'll get it. You'll get it. I have faith in you, mate. Kelly, hello. Hey, I'm doing good. Got me some coffee. Had me a good weekend. Been busy. Been busy. Ain't gonna lie there. But I had a relatively good weekend. I will admit today started rocky. We got woke up earlier than expected, so today started a little rocky. But we're doing good now. Let's see, Ms. Weeds. Hey, that's okay, Ms. Weeds. Always good to laugh at me. Always good. Let's see, Katie. What sort of supplies do you use for spells, etc.? Actually, Katie, this is one where I surprise a lot of people. I do not keep a lot of spell supplies on hand because I primarily prefer to work in energy. Um, Spell supplies can be handy and they can be helpful because they're not a necessary part of any spell work. What they do is they actually help you to anchor energy to the working you're doing. Because without the anchor, you have to maintain focus and control over all the energy there. Having the anchor allows you to anchor the energy and not have as much focus. Um, so at this point in my practice, the primary things I keep on hand, I love to keep black, red, and white candles on hand, preferably black and red. Those are just my preferred colors, and I try to keep them so they're balancing each other out there. Um, I keep coned dragon's blood incense. I buy it in bulk. That's my favorite incense. It's pretty much a catch-all incense. It works great with dragon magic, which is my primary. So it just allows me to stock one incense, and gets my job done. Um, and I actually do keep those one single-use, little inexpensive, cheap diabetic lancets with a little spring-loaded on them for some workings. I do tend to keep a few charged and empowered waters of different types that I create for different workings. Um, that's I think that is really all I keep on hand for like ingredient wise. Otherwise, the only stuff I use is the my staff for dragon magic or uh, yeah, my staff and my wand. That's really the only items I use is those. And actually, I tend not to use those as often as people might think for just spell work. I use them for full ritual, but not full, just for spell work. What is it? Is that KLC kick? Um, what do you think about the religion opinion about working with spirits or demons? Religions have their opinion, but when it comes to spirits and demons, the simple fact is you can look through history. Um, many, very, very, very helpful gods can be found in history, but their names can also be found amongst the demons. Why? Because a religion, just a singular religion, decided that's not a nice God. We don't like it. Everyone wants to pin this on Christianity. Truth of the matter is, every religion through history has demonized one groups of gods or the other. Because in history, if you control the religion, you control the flow of knowledge, and that helps you to control the people. That was just a simple understanding way, way back. So demonizing the deities or assimilating the deities and the lore was actually a very common practice in every culture. So religion's religion. You can't just pick one and blame one. Every one of them's just as guilty as the other, no exceptions. Um, and that's the thing. It is pretty much anytime a religion approaches something, they're going to write it from their point of view and specifically their point of view. And there's nothing wrong with that per se, as long as your religion ain't causing you to harm people. And unfortunately, I don't know of a single organized religion that I can say is free on that either, sadly. And that's one of the reasons I actually steer clear of religion in general. But I do know a lot of wonderful people who they follow religion as an individual, not as a group, and they're magnificent and wonderful people. Their practices are fine. And if you don't necessarily walk the same path they do, they're not going to get judgy. Um, But when it comes to spirits and demons, human spirits, you got to be careful. Humans are just as big a dick in spirit as they are in real life in the story. So I'd say 99% of all so called hauntings or demon related activity has always turned out to be actually a human spirit masquerading. And then everyone wants to throw in the scare tactics, unfortunately. But yeah, when it comes to the religion side of it, pick your religion, you're going to get a different viewpoint every time. Diego, hey, new follower from Mexico. Welcome, glad you found us. Just wanted to thank you so much for all your wisdom and information in your channel, as well as guidance you give us. You have inspired my practice so much. Oh, man, Diego, appreciate that. Mugs up to you, mate. I'm glad the information I share here can help and inspire you. And I love that word, inspired. Because that is actually what I would hope to do. I don't want you to just say, "Well, Drake said this. I'm going to do this step by step." I'm not teaching you how to build a tower of Legos here. I actually hope to give you information and wisdom to give you a foundation that can inspire you to find your own unique path for you. Not necessarily just do things as I do it. So I love how you said that word inspired, Diego. See, AT, can I make an offering to the Fae without intending to actually work with them? Simply just give them an offering to any Fae in my home, but without intention of working with them or having a relationship. Yeah, if you leave out an offering for the Fae, they'll take it. In fact, giving an offering to the Fae with no intention is actually their favorite way. There's no strings attached. It's just here, you can have this. And they tend to get protective of sources of things like that. That's one reason leaving a gift or leaving an offering for the Fae and never asking for anything was a general practice, because it just kept them in a good mood and they'd look out for you. In fact, the exact opposite is actually warned against. You should never give the Fae an offering with quid pro quo. That's when they get pissy. So yeah, that's totally cool. What was, did I see that? What do I think about the chosen one? There is no chosen one, dude. There is not. That's works of fiction entirely. There is no singular one chosen one. I yeah. I'll be honest with you, even the best of humanity is just as flawed and messed up as the rest of us. Yep, and the 101. Awesome, awesome. I think you'll love the 102 once you get there, mate. But take your time, do the work, take your time, don't get in a rush. You'll do great with them, Anthony. Uh, Garrison, I think that's pronounced. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. See, purified Drake. I've heard some people say everything lives in what is called the density. Most people say that there is 7 or 8 densities, and the higher our vibration is, the higher we go in our density system. Do you have any info on this? I have heard many things in this discussion, and I have seen little evidence of it. Now, it is true different planes vibrate at different levels, but the density of those planes have nothing to do with how spiritual or how good or how well you've moved in your ascent. In fact, some of the heavier density planes are some of the more, I guess you could call them higher planes, while some of the higher vibration of the lighter energies are actually some of the worst places you could ever be. This mentality tends to still strive from the polarity of good and evil. You've got good, you got bad, and it's split straight down the middle, easy peasy. And that's just not true. But the densities of the planes, they're there, but you moving to those planes, you're going to have to adjust to the density of the plane in order to navigate the plane easily. But the second you return, your density also shifts again. And there's not an entity in the multiverse that's density doesn't shift as it moves from plane to plane as it travels. So unless you plan to move to a plane, stay there, and just sit down and never do anything else again and live eternity in the most boring, pointless way possible, your energy density is not going to get there and just stay. But if your goal is to sit down, stare off into space, and be bored for all eternity, yeah, that could work. Not my cup of tea. I do always look into it and try to find out if there's more info on it, to try and find anything more in it. So far, I have not. I will continue to research on it, purified. At this point, it's more of every time I find it and every time I look into it, it comes into a love and light, spiritual, almost religious viewpoint of how things are broke up. But I do keep reading into it in case I find something new. You always got to keep that open mind. Always. Let's see. Garrison, how to use the concept of chi, or sometimes referred to as ki by Eastern spirituality with magic. Magic is ki and chi. Energy is energy is energy is energy. Okay, different sources of energy, it's still energy. Chi and ki deal with the life force energy within the person. You can actually use external energy to build up your ki and your chi through meditation and energy work and magic. It will actually happen naturally. There's plenty of magicians who practice spell work but never actually do any self body energy work, but you'll notice that their physical chi, as it were, or ki actually builds naturally over time too, because they're constantly working and flexing those muscles, and it builds naturally. So yeah, they're actually the same thing. They're just a different philosophy of achieving the same goal. And if you stack philosophies, you can actually make really great progress there. That's one of the reasons I do like stacking things, and I do love energy meditations. And well, great example actually is in Dragon Magic 101, you have the Dragon Fire meditation. A lot of people I know have actually associated this with a Kundalini style meditation. There are different processes, but they do achieve very, very similar results. And the amount of ki or chi that your body builds up during this meditation in a very short time is freaking amazing. I actually have a friend, he has been practicing in chi work for about 20 years. He tried this meditation and he has actually added it to his practice because he's not found another way that quickly and efficiently for him to ramp everything up. And it's interesting how he done it because he front loaded it to his normal practice. So he gets everything skyrocketed and ramped up and then goes through his normal practice. Um, and he's been keeping notes on that and getting some awesome results. Now we are a little bit behind on these questions, so if it jumps, I apologize. So, Ms. Waits, after you do videos on the 72 lesser demons, Solomon, do you plan posting about the 72 angels? Actually, Ms. Waits, yes, I do. In fact, I plan to start the angels before I finish the 72 demons. I do apologize. I have meant to get a few of those angel videos up sooner, but it has been crazy up in here. We've been getting hit from all kinds of different sides. And as many of you know, my daughter recently visited, and I actually took time off from filming in order to spend time with her. And many of you know my wife recently came home too from deployment. So all these little things have just kind of swamped me and bogged me down in things that I've had to do because I got family. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? But yeah, I am planning to do the 72 angels, and I'm wanting to get those started soon, Mizoids. And yes, I do plan to do it before we finish the 72, because unless I can free up more time to film the detailed videos, it's going to take me a while to get through all those. So um, that's one reason, like, if you go to the other channel, I know it's not an occult channel. I know it's a bit goofy. It's just for fun. You'll notice those videos are just kind of shot They do not have the production time that these do, for those who are wondering. I can sit down and shoot those and drink a cup of coffee in no time flat. Whereas the videos I do for this channel, they take a lot of time to script, to get the details filled in, to make sure I check my notes, I check notes external, I check with other magicians, and then to sit down, structure it, film it, edit it, and upload it. So there's a massive deal that goes into these. But yeah, we are going to get those done. And I am trying to free more time to film, because I would like to get to two. And someone said, why don't I do the angels in a vlog style like I was doing some of the vlogging? I'm afraid I'll miss too much information. I love doing the vlog videos when I have an idea and it's off the cuff, but that was kind of the thing about the vlogs. They're very much off the cuff, and they're just me talking about what's on my mind at that time, or whatever I'm doing at the time, like the food research I was doing. Chantel, hey, welcome. Mugs up to you. Stuart, Drake, I just discovered I'm a Leo ascending and feel that might be leading me to work with Marvis and Amon. How would you narrow down line associate spirit? I would actually generally just meditate on their sigils or them to find out. I'll be honest with you, astrology is my weakest area, mate. I don't even put much credit to it. The main reason being, as a magician, I should be in charge of the energy in my life, period. That's kind of what self mastery is. So to take time and give power or credibility to something outside of me, like the stars, seems kind of counterproductive. And it's just one of those areas I've just, since I can control the energy already and I've mastered certain those areas, because if you go check out my Mercury retrograde, the ritual that I use to make sure retrograde or any star alignment just doesn't affect me, and that works for anybody, not just me. Dumping time into learning the astrology in detail is just not something that's really been interesting to me. And that's not knocking those of you who study astrology at all. Don't get me wrong. That's why I said it's just not interesting to me. It's not something that I would find useful in my toolbox. Kind of like if I was to go to grocery stores and buy chickpeas or hummus, not hummus, because I'll eat hummus, but kale. I just won't eat kale. So, yeah, just not something that's particularly my cup of tea. So I just meditate on the two and see which one you'd be more drawn to start working with. Let's see. Dragon's Blood incense is good stuff, Katie. I love it. Usually when I get other incense that ain't Dragon's Blood, it's a gift, and I don't turn it down because I love different kinds of incense. But if I'm buying it and stocking up, I just grab Dragon's Blood. Garrison, there's been okay, so this depends on how they mean it. Now, if they literally mean walk outside and like and lift up an earthen pillar, or lift a rock and throw it, or literally pull water up like a snake as they're at the beach, control the wind to create a little tornado in the backyard to clean the leaves out. I got $5,000 for anyone who can prove that at all. And I've had people make claims for it, and the second push comes to shove, every one of them's like, "No, never mind." Yeah, that kind of figures. However, if we go from the physical anime side of it and we look at energy currents and energy manipulation, which isn't as flashy or showy because energy flows around us all the time within the air, all elemental energy. Manipulating and working with those energies, that's what all magic is. That's nothing special. Every person who's ever done a candle spell has manipulated elemental energy on one level or another. In fact, the very basic Dragon's Flame ritual, which you'll see here on this channel, deals with 4 elemental energies while you're doing that simple ritual. So if they mean working with energy, yep, If they mean actually bending it like in the cartoon, full on flashy, being able to create pillars and water whips and stuff, tell them to contact me. I got $5,000 if they can prove it. So far, in 15 years, not one person has collected that money. Let's see. Oh, we jumped. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jade. I just have a fey altar with statue, candle, incense, and free food. That's a good way of doing it, Lynn. It really is. Uh, does Volt? What's the Cliffoth? The Cliffoth is the counterpart to the Kabbalah. So you would have the tree of life as the Kabbalah. The Cliffoth is the tree of death, or the light tree and the dark tree. They're two sides of the same coin, but they're two pathways to understanding growth and ascent that are very, very drastically different. So after I researched the tree of life for many years, I had to understand what was on the other side of it. My curiosity, I have to understand both sides. That's just my nature. Um, and there is more and more Cliffothic workings being published finally. It used to be a very, very hard thing to find any information on. Whoa, we jumped. Crap. I saw that right before it jumped. Do I practice Tai Chi or Qi Gong? Sorry, I don't know who said that. I missed it because it jumped. Um, I used to in different methods, and I still use energy work and movement meditation in different ways. In fact, I do a lot of resistance workout, or I did before I hurt my foot, which I'm going to get back into once I get that up and running. But I still use the techniques. But as far as what I say, I actually fully practice it, not these days. But used to. And I found it helpful for energy work and balancing and movements. It's just, uh, it was eating into other activities that I needed to get done, and I could get the same energetic results in other methods. So I just, it's one of those things where we all kind of have to balance out different things and figure out what is going to work within our long term practice. We all have our own little different paths. And that was just one of the ones I really enjoyed it. But at the time, I just had so many other things I couldn't do it. Let's see here. Angela, good to see you. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a super chat here. Let me pop down here. The Volt. What if money isn't a good incentive and they just want to keep it secret? Have you read the autobiography of a yogi? Yeah, I have. And money isn't really a good incentive for a lot of people. And you're right, there are a lot of people who are trying to gatekeep information for many different reasons for different things. And actually, that's one of the reasons I'm here. I do a lot of traveling. I talk with a lot of people, and I learn from a lot of different areas. And I continue to dive deeper, and I find practicalities. And when you're talking about people who can manipulate it and move them, if you want me to believe you, if you want me to believe you, prove it. If you actually have something to prove, then prove it. And I'll be honest with you, most people who have an understanding of these secret arts, as people want to claim them, they don't have any motivation to keep it secret. That's more comes from your conspiracy theorists. They want to think people's hiding things from us, where not really. Um, most of these are very, very open teachers, and they will teach. And if you approach them and ask them, it's not very hard at all to find those people who will do that. So no, I actually do not think it, because honestly, if you're wanting to keep it secret, you're not going to sit there and brag about it. So, yeah, everyone who's bragging about it and then backs out, they're bragging, and then when someone actually is like, all right, show me, that's when they need their brown pants because someone just called them on it. Because it's really easy to talk a big talk, but talk's not enough. Talk is not enough. A lot of people say a lot of things. Let me see your results. Let me see you do it. Yeah, Anthony, Jade is correct. You can have a dragon watch over him, but it will not be a guardian dragon. No one can get a guardian dragon for you. If anybody makes that claim, no, that will not be a guardian dragon. Dragons will not allow a interceder to get a guardian for you. If you can't do the work, you don't get a guardian. But that said, I know a lot of autistic individuals who do grow up and do fascinatingly well with magic, so that's not off the table for them. I don't know how old your son is or anything, but it is possible for them to do it. But all the same, just like Jade said, you could easily get a dragon to watch over them. What about soul elements? Our souls are actually not constructed of the elements directly. You may have an affinity with an element, but it's not the specific thing. Um, that affinity can make it easier to manipulate one element or the other. But our physical bodies literally are tied into all the elements. So there's no element we're cut off to. We can easily manipulate all the others with a little time and discipline. And actually, I've not had a student I can't get to manipulate all four base elements inside a week. So it would just depend on how you view it yourself. Personally, I see limiting yourself to something singular, one element, is just pointless. And actually, it's very unbalanced. And if you spend too much time in a singular element, you will unbalance yourself. And that unbalanced will create a lot of problems. Let's see, Garrison, thanks. I want to make sure my sanity and logic's still intact. Heard that. Heard that. Baba, if you keep posting whatever it is the admin are trying to and keep telling you that not to, you're going to get blocked, dude. They've already told you there's a place for that. No, demons are not bad. That is a religious perspective and slant. In fact, if you actually look historically, angels have done more harm than demons. Well, actually, if you think about it, Garrison, if anyone could do those, it would equal the playing field, and we wouldn't be in a bad spot. That's kind of the kicker. If it is 18 plus, Baba, you can go to the Discord where there is an 18 plus section for such questions specifically. Let's see. So you're asking about succubus style experiences, and you don't think actually demons have no issue walking up to you. I don't know where this concept comes from that entities like demons are suddenly repelled or no. Just as any entity can wander around this earth, so can a demon. Demons are not these evil beings that want to paint them as, and they're not restricted and bound and, all these weird things. So they can wander up just as easy as anything. And succubuses, by that nature, are not evil beings. They got a bad rap, but they do serve a purpose. No, every weird dream is not a demon. It's not a spirit. It's not some boogeyman out to get you. Most of the time, it's just a dream. Dreams are literally how we process information in order to de-stress, heal our mental stability, all those things. Dreaming is a natural part of our mental facilities. Um, and no, demons do not need an invitation to walk up. In fact, if you were to fully open your astral sight at any point of your day, you'd be surrounded by so many different entities that it would be more crowded than Times Square on New Year's Eve. That is how many things are constantly around you 24/7 every day of the week, no matter what. Sorry to break it to you. That's a simple fact. People don't like that fact because that just scares them. But that is a simple, basic reality there. That said, have I worked with succubuses? I have worked with them for different reasons. Not any of the reasons these little people are putting up on Witch Talk or all these, oh, I can't get laid. I'm going to go find me a succubus girlfriend. Oh, dear God. That's just pathetic. And that's a horrible, horrible use of your time, energy, and magic. What are astral parents? I'll be honest with you. I've not seen any credible use of this word, thugger. I'll be honest with you. Every time I've seen it, it's used in one of the most corny fashions in which people want to believe that they have parental like figures on the astral plane, kind of spirit guardians or ancestral. And a lot of it comes from, honestly, the first time I saw it used was dealing with kids who, seriously, they didn't like their own parents, so they replaced them. um, but by and large, no, we do not have a parent. That word within the multiverse actually carries a bit more weight than people might actually give it. But you may have a guardian, you may have a spirit that looks over you. If you wish to call them a parent, that would be different. But as far as a literal astral parent, I've seen no proof of that, though I've seen it interestingly used a lot of late. So, at least in the ways I've seen it used, Thugger. Anime, demons and angels are actually the same entities. They actually are the same entities. You do actually have some entities that were once revered as gods that are classified as demons now just because certain religions decided it. But the bulk of your angels and demons are just the same entities. One group of them focuses their work within order, while the other focuses their work more in a chaotic way. But they are the same entities with the same goals. Purified. Do entities also dream like Odin and dragons? I know Odin has talked about visions. So I honestly can't say I've ever asked him about dreams. That said, however, there are actually, I have talked to dragons about dreams. And dragons definitely do sleep and they do dream. In fact, there's one dragon that particularly guards a very specific gateway or doorway. And it always it sleeps until necessity for it to awake, and it's always dreaming. And its dreams actually serve a purpose, but all dragons do dream. And now I do know I have talked to certain deities, not Odin specifically, where they do sleep, they do dream, and they enjoy their dreams. because they are still entities that are growing. They're much further along than we are by miles and miles and centuries, but they are still growing. So I would have to extrapolate and say that Odin would be one that dreams as well. Let's see, terror. Do the angels, demons, entities have better word? What can used instead of angels and demons? I hate having to interchange the words. Yeah, I know the issue there, Tara. And I've actually been working on it. And every word that they've given is a word that, um, honestly, I've not found a human that can pronounce it. um, so that is something I am trying to find a better classification for. Um, Ironically, the best words we sort of kind of have, it's still categorized them. They're the same entities. They don't, getting a singular word for what these beings are is the hard part. But the ones that deal in order are generally could be referred to as celestial, whereas the ones that deal in more chaotic could actually um, easily be referred to as infernal because um, they do tend to work around that more chaotic, fiery, earthy energies that you do see associated in those areas. Um, and a lot of times I've seen some magicians actually just associate them with entities of order and entity of chaos in order to categorize them without using the terminology of angel and demon. At this point in time, I'll be honest, I don't have a better word. That's the reason I continue to use what we got. Um, and it's a pain in the rear. It really is. But trying to shift terminology can be tricky because you have to have terminology that would actually function and work and can't be picked apart too hard. And these are terminologies that have been used for so many generations. It's going to be hard to pick them up and move them. What do I mean by the same goals? They are literally working to achieve the same goals in the multiverse, the same ends. They're not fighting, they're not at odds. You always have this ideal of a cosmic war between good and evil, and it's actually fiction. And of course, angels and demons are always on the front line of this fictional war. They are not enemies, they are allies. Yeah, yeah. Well, every entity will have some limitation upon it, believe it or not. It's just a matter of what your limitations are at that time. Okay, when you're looking at hell from a Christian perspective, the Christian hell exists, but it's not a place that anyone gets stuck to. When you're looking at afterlives, the afterlife in which you are associated to by your religion, that one is there for you should you follow that religion. There are also many other planes of existence in which one may go to. And if you have no religion, you will actually be guided to an afterlife that best aligns with you. And angels and demons are not as simple as they come from this place. Um, that is a highly, highly oversimplification of a much larger picture. They actually come from easily hundreds of thousands of different planes. I like a middleman for those who can't learn magic directly from spirits through evocation and invocation. I don't like that term at all. But perhaps. See, here's the thing. I don't want to teach you to do what I tell you to do. Actually, what I teach my students is to do that. That. I don't want to spend my life talking to the same person, answering questions every day, picking up my phone. I want to teach a person to be able to do it for themselves. I want to teach the person to be self sufficient. I want them to be independent. I want them to achieve self mastery of themselves. I want them to understand evocation and invocation so they don't have to ask Drake. They can go work with the entities and talk to them directly. I'm not a middleman. If you ain't got the skills, the knowledge, or the information, I want to give you that knowledge so you can do it. Gerardo, if you're talking human spirits, some of them don't realize they're dead. Some of them have unfinished business and they don't realize how much damage they can do to themselves by sticking around here. Some of them actually want to look over their loved ones. Again, sticking around because they don't understand that if they pass on and complete that transition, that they can still watch over their loved ones. Those tend to be the larger ones. And then you do have spirits who've done something. Usually it's something they're guilty of or something that they purposely stay here because they don't want to face the consequences of their actions or the realities of what they would not have done. Um, and we are seeing more and more of that category actually, because more and more people want to live a consequence free life. They want to do all the things with no consequences and no responsibility. And that is actually increasing that last category quite a bit lately, which is sad. And it also shows a massive amount of self knowledge, self discipline, self mastery, um, as well as just self responsibility and accountability. Let's see, default. How is meditation and evocation connected? And what kind of meditation do I need to do to focus? Is it focused meditation? Okay, meditation is the foundation of all magic because meditation, first off, teaches you focus and discipline and control. All those things are needed in all aspects of magic. Now, when you get into evocation, which is an advanced version of magic, you must maintain focus and control the whole ritual. If you blink, if you lose focus, you crash the ritual and you have to start all over. So, without a strong meditative practice to build those skills, you're pretty much pissing up a rope um, and you're wasting your time. Evocation. A lot of people want to think if you just write a few sigils down, if you say the right words and light the collect incense, no, it just happens. No. Words are just words, symbols are just symbols, incense is just incense. If the operator does not have the skill set, the self mastery, the focus, and the discipline to maintain the energy and deal with the stress of the ritual and not break their focus for the entirety of the ritual, much less when the entity actually shows up, you're not going to be able to evoke. Simple as that. Skipping meditation is pretty much the first sign of a magician who won't get nowhere. Seriously. If you ain't got time to work on your basics, good luck. But meditation is foundational to all forms of magic because of that. Also, it does help you to work with your energy. As to which one is best, all of them. All meditations have their use for building those skill sets. Um, Generally, I would tell my students to find one or two that they prefer. So for me, I enjoy focused meditation because just blank sitting meditation is boring as frick to me, and my mind tends to get really bored really easily. However, when I do a simple, clear minded meditation, I clear my mind and seek insight, and insight tends to come very, very quickly. Focused meditation I do for that exact reason. I find a specific thing that I know I have a question, I know I'm working on, and I put my focus on that, and I do that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Movement meditation is one that I like to do also, and I do it both clear minded and focused depending on what I'm doing because, well, I hate cleaning. So I do all my movement meditation while cleaning the house. So, yeah, they all serve a purpose. There is no which one's best, and there is no skipping them all. See, I have a magical basics playlist where I actually do cover and demo a lot of this stuff, including spell works. Yeah, the entire channel is pretty much tutorial from Purified Rat. Oh, did I miss one? Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Is there a demon that's connected to you in some way? How can I explain this better? Is there a demon that you can work with better than others? Oh, okay, that's a fair question, Thugger. So this goes into the concept of personal demons, and this is actually kind of the flip flop of the um, spiritual or left hand path trying to revolt against the right hand path spirituality ideologies, even though technically at the center they're the same. Um, are you specifically plugged in and connected to a specific angel, demon, entity? Keep inserting all the names for different entities you want to here, and the answer is no. Now, that said, could particularly a possible entity take an interest in you and think you're an interesting individual? Yep. And that's generally what happens. Think about how we do it. We're walking down the street, we see some random person, they do something crazy or interesting that sparks our interest. Um, and we think, hey, I'm going to talk to that human. And we go over, and the next thing you know, we're going to be like, I'm going to pick this human here, and I'm just randomly going to be friends with this human. It's as quirky and as random as that. Their curiosity is piqued, and they generally will pick. But that's not a like connection. That's that this entity has an interest in you. They would like to help you in some ways, or they'd like to observe you. Some entities don't want to help you, but they don't want to hurt you. They're just going to sit back and watch because it's kind of like us watching America's Funniest Home Videos. Most of us are not going to ride a dirt bike down a mountain in order to hit a ramp and jump it across a lake and hope we land in the middle. Most of us won't do that. Not going to say all of us won't do it. I know a few people who've done it, but we sure as heck like to watch it and laugh at it. So you have entities that do that, but you also do have entities that take an interest in you for different reasons. Perhaps you and them share similar views, ideologies, um, and that interest could be enough for you to start building and gaining up that kind of relationship. That's so. I hope that kind of clears that up a little bit, if possible. Uh, yeah. Hey, mugs up. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Oh, Sierra. Hey, Tiny Demon. Good to see you. Tell your sisters I said hi. What about giants? Which type of giants are you talking about? Giants is a very large category and broad category, and the word is used for different entities in different ways across different cultures and systems. For example, giants within Norse mythology have a very, very different meaning than giants within the Olympian pantheon. Katie, honestly, when it comes to dragons, they prefer just general respect, consideration. Gratitude's actually a great offering. Um, though I know we humans like to do something a little bit more tangible in general when we come to offerings. So, what I have found is energy is a great offering. I love to pour energy into crystal quartz. or any stone or any item that you have lying around. Many of you have seen this ring before. If I don't have anything else, I will actually pour energy into an object like this, leave that on the altar, and they can have the energy out of it. Um, and that's a tangible way to do it. You can also do the same thing with a glass of water. You don't need a ring. You don't have to get fancy. I have been in a hotel room traveling. I knew I needed to do some working and speak with a dragon, and I adore this dragon. We always spend a lot of time talking anytime I do work with them. And I wanted to make sure to give them something to say thank you for their time and their friendship. So all I had was a freaking Dixie cup. I got my Dixie cup. I charged it with the energy offering. I left my Dixie cup right there on the work surface in my hotel room, which my work surface was that little corner desk they call a desk, but let's be honest, if you open a book there, it's full. That's where I done my workings, and I just set my little Dixie cup of charged water up there that was charged with the energy that I was offering. That is hands down one of the easier, better ways to do it for most people. All right, everyone, we have hit our hour. This is wow, it has gone by quick tonight. My goodness. You guys are amazing. You really are. Great questions. We had a little paper getting into some categories up there, but that's okay. We had you doing some backflips, keeping my moderators working. It's good to see them up there and doing their job. Appreciate y'all. Mugs up to the moderators. Adore y'all. Thank you for everything you do to help here and in the Discord server. Now, with that said, for those people who did have questions, hey, YouTube puts a little bit of handcuffs on me on a thing or two, but they've been good to me. They've been really good to me on getting this information out to everyone. So I ain't going to smack talk the YouTube. They've been really good to us here at Working Dragon Mystic. But that said, if you do have a question in which we couldn't cover here, by all means, do pop over to the Working Dragon Mystic Discord. You will find the link in the About section of our channel. Join the Discord, read through the rules. There will be a little place where you click the emoji to say you've read the rules and you got to agree to it. And then to get access to the 18 or older section for those really kind of questionable questions that clearly past that 18 marker, just talk to the admin. They'll get you approved for the 18 or older channel for questions like that. Though, do keep it to magic. Don't go spamming all kinds of crazy old memes. We'll get you for that one. But beyond that, everyone, I hope you all have a fantastic week. I've got so much work that I'm actually looking forward to doing. There's a part of me that feels a little insane for looking forward to going into another Clifothic sphere. But what can I say? I absolutely love what I do, and I love the unknown. I love the adrenaline of it. So, great stuff there. Beyond that, everyone, check out the video we got coming out Tuesday. If you are interested in checking out the other channel, it's Dad and Daughters D&D. It's a little geeky channel. It's not a cult. I know many of you probably don't care about geeky stuff, but hey, it's something the daughter's doing for fun. And y'all have a great week. All right. Stay safe. Keep your research going. Keep working on what you're working. Keep those journals. I can't reiterate that enough. Keep those journals. That is the best way to track your progress because you can easily look back and do that. And try to build up a solid meditation practice and work on that self-mastery. I think you'll be really impressed how far you can go if you just start keeping that journal and holding yourself to account and working on good habits and self-discipline. All right, everyone. What's this? But rules are boring. Well, they may be boring, but they also allow for respectful civil discourse. And that's kind of the entire point here. So keep it respectful, keep it civil, and follow those rules if you join the Discord. And the same thing here in the live chats anytime you're here. I love to have y'all. In fact, one of the things I brag most about my community is how wonderful, respectful, and understanding everyone is in these live chats week after week. In the 2 years we've been doing this, we've had what, maybe one or two incidences where the moderators have really had to throw down on something. And that is amazing. I think we are very blessed for the amount of respect and understanding that comes through this channel. And I'm honored by that. So let's keep that up, people. All right, everyone, you have a great week. Until next time, take care. Good night.